At this point, we will be going to Rivers State, where, of course, in Nigeria, the federal government and state governors may have agreed to a 3-month moratorium on local government autonomy over concerns arising from its impact on salary payments and operational viability. This development means local governments may wait till October before the implementation of the law in the direct payment into their respective accounts. The Supreme Court on July 11, 2024, gave a landmark judgment affirming the financial autonomy of the 774 local governments in the country and ruled that governors could no longer control funds meant for the councils. The Apex Court also directed the Accountant General of the Federation to pay LG allocations directly to their accounts, as it declared the non-remittance of funds by the 36 states unconstitutional. Now, joining me to discuss this is Samuel Nwanosike. He's a factional chairman of Ikwerre local government area of the state. Thank you for joining me virtually.
Thank you very much for having me. And I need to plead with you for us to correct the narrative. I'm not a factional chairman. I'm the executive chairman of Ikwerre Local Government Council by the ruling of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, the highest court of the land, for 11th of July 2024, that states clearly that the House of Assembly of the Rivers State, led by Samuel Nwanosike, has the right to extend my tenure until an election is conducted. And that is why I'm here in your show.
All right. I mean, talking about that, there's, of course, a ruling Governor Fubar, lost in the suit to grant local government councils financial autonomy and also tenure extension at the Supreme Court. I would like you to react to this.
Yes, you heard that's the certified true copy of the justices of the Supreme Court that's before you there. And we know that the Supreme Court is the highest court of our land, and whatever they say is final. Whatever Supreme Court says is the law of our land. The only place it can be changed is if you go and appeal before God Almighty, or the Supreme Court will reverse itself if they wish to. For us, we are in a democracy. We appreciate our governors, we appreciate Mr. President, but we know that our governors and Mr. President cannot sit in appeal over the decision of the Supreme Court. If we say we are running democracy and that the judiciary is the hope of the common man, it goes to say clearly that every governor that swore an oath should be able to stand up, irrespective of the decision of court, to obey the laws of our land and make sure that these laws are implemented. Because if poor citizens or common citizens decide to disobey court orders, the governors cannot govern their states. That's the truth. We want a place where we can live in a society as guided by our constitution, and that is what democracy is all about. And our governors and Mr. President swore an oath to uphold the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Mr. President has done very well by taking this interpretation to the Supreme Court so that it will be rested forever. And today, the Supreme Court has given their verdict and has said, in case where election could not be conducted, that the House of Assembly in that state has the right to extend the tenure of elected local government chairman, because the Supreme Court in their ruling says caretaker committees are not known to our law and they are illegal.
Okay, so by extension, what duration are we looking at, and why, of course, can elections not be conducted, in maybe Rivers State, for instance? Because I know that the governor said it's part of what he is looking out to do.
Democracy is a process. It's not an event. Conducting an election is not when you just wake up one morning and you say, oh, I want to conduct an election. You only go and conduct an election. Elections must be conducted in accordance with the laws of our land. And when you want to conduct an election, there are processes you follow. There are processes you follow to make sure that these elections are done. And if those processes are not followed, Whatever exercise you carry out to be in futility. For instance, when a court of competent jurisdiction has ruled that INEC police should not participate in the shenanigans that is about to happen in River State, that is the position of the law. Until it's vacated, that will be the law. We've been in this situation before now. So in River State, we don't think our governor is ready for election. Moreover, let's ask the question, on what budget is our governor conducting this election? This is a state that is being governed without appropriation. Since 1st of July to date, other governors in Nigeria are governing their state with appropriation. It's only in River State that Court of Appeal has said Okojombo Assembly is null and void. Anything here never existed by a motor judgment. Represent your budget to Matizamule-led assembly. But the governor has decided to say, no, I am the governor of River State. I will decide who is the assembly. Even if it is 3 men, those 3 men should be the assembly. And today, we still saw the same governor sending names of people to be confirmed as commissioners in the Okojumbo-led administration. And the question we are worried is that where is the Nigerian Bar Association? Where is NJC? Do we still have a chief judge of this nation? Where are the legal luminaries? Where is Femi Falana? Where are all the great tabacobas? Where are they? Why are they quiet? Why are they quiet? Why are legal minds quiet in the rascality the governor is displaying in River State, not obeying court orders? Who is the person behind the governor? Trying to say that democracy should perish because somebody is governor of River State who has decided to disobey the constitution.
But the same governor said that at some point, elections, particularly at the local government level, will be conducted. But you're saying that he's not given that commitment. I would like you to, specifically itemize what you feel are the bottlenecks.
First of all, for you to conduct a local government election, you will spend funds of River State. There will be funds that you will use to deploy logistics. The question is, on what appropriation are those funds coming on? Like we told you, since the 31st of June, everything about the 2023 budget has died. The oxygen of that budget is off. So from 1st of July to date, we have been living in a banana republic in River State, where a man is spending the funds of River State without appropriation. Now, apart from that, there is a court of competent jurisdiction saying, INEC, because this governor is not ready for election, don't give the register of INEC for that election to be conducted. Police, don't participate because this governor is not ready and is not sincere. If this governor wanted to conduct election, he shouldn't have waited for the tenure of existing local government chairman to expire on the 17th of June. No, he wanted to go the other route of forming a caretaker committee so that he can bring his cronies, like he has given the 3 months allocation he seized from elected local government chairman, whose tenures were running at the time he seized these funds. He seized our fund. We had budget. We had appropriation. We had F&GPC. We were using to run our council. He seized the 3 months funds, billions belonging to Ikwerre local government, close to 2 billion, and he gave to his crony. And his crony, he told him, stay in a hotel, stay anywhere you want to stay, and spend the money. And the young man is happy. He's in beer parlors, he's in everywhere, he's buying rackety cars, he's dashing people money in the streets. No appropriation. The same funds we are looking for to develop the grassroots, to develop our country in Nigeria, is what a governor has given to his cronies to spend in a hotel.
Okay, so that will bring me to my next question as regards financial autonomy for local governments. Across the country. Now, using Ikwerre local government, for instance, how do you think? What do you make of that initiative in terms of financial autonomy for local governments? Do you think that it's a step in the right direction, even though we know that right now some issues as regards the payment of salaries, and also logistics have been raised even at the federal and state level. But some are saying it's a welcome development. What's your take?
There is no issue that is raised, my brother. The issue that is raised is that some persons who are governors of the various states are scared of the financial autonomy. They believe that if the third tier has full grasp of power, it will make it difficult for them to come back to power come 2027. It's just a fear. But I think that fear is misplaced. And I believe a governor who is doing well with his local government chairman, they will live like a family. Like Mr. President is living with the governors like a family. If Mr. President will live with the governors like a family, why would the governors not live with the local government chairman like a family? For instance, a local government chairman as an executive should enjoy the same tenure with the state governor, and like the state governor is enjoying the same tenure with the president. Mr. President tenure is 4 years. Before 1999, we had 4-year tenure for Mr. President, we had 4-year tenure for governor, and we had 4-year tenure for local government chairman. But it was in 1999 that some governors went behind the scene, went to National Assembly, and amended the law to say that the House of Assembly should be the one to dictate the tenures of local government. But the Supreme Court has settled the matter in this ruling. Read the CTC copy that is before you. You will hear the justices say clearly that the local government chairman, if it's a true federation, should be allowed to enjoy their 4-year term. It is a decision of the Supreme Court.
All right.
So nobody can come and say, we've had a meeting, oh, they will panic. No, there's no panic. The decision of the Supreme Court said, with immediate effect, 11th of July. And I thank the Attorney General for coming up to say, the 19 states that have not conducted local government election will not get allocation from the federation account. So if they say we are in a democracy, we will watch them lead us as our leaders and place democracy in front burner. No man's personal ego or interest should come before our constitution. Our constitution is the ground, and that is where we stand. I want to thank Mr. President for standing with the people of the grassroots and for knowing that the grassroots is the proper place.
All right, Mr. Nwanosike, we would of course pick up from there. I understand that we need to go on a quick commercial break. When we return, of course, it's still Politics HQ. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on New Central Television. I still have my guest with me, Mr. Samuel Nwanosike, is chairman of Ikwerre local government area. He joins virtually. Thank you for staying with me. Now, let's go back to the tenure duration of the local government chairman in the state. I mean, from the angle of the governor, he said, you know what, many of the local government chairmen, their tenures have expired. And for that reason, the law kicks in. Once your tenure expires, what next?
It's unfortunate that the governor, for instance, in my state, had a program or a plot. And but the Supreme Court has thwarted his plot, and he has lost.
But I want to ask you directly, did you use your tenure? Did you use it to expiration date?
That's what I'm telling you. I said the governor of our state failed in conducting local government election before the purported expiration of our tenure. Now, the House of Assembly, seeing that lacuna, said because of the laws of Nigeria that empowered them from the Constitution, especially 7.1, Constitution says it must be an elected government. The only elected government closed is our own government. That's the only government that has the mandate of the people. And that the law says that they have the right to extend our tenure. Now, Supreme Court has even made it a law that cannot be shaped, a law that cannot be wiped out by anybody, not Mr. President, not the governor, that the House of Assembly, in case of not being conducting election in the state, has the right to extend the tenure of any local government until election is conducted. Same that the National Assembly has the power to extend the tenure of Mr. President. So it goes to say that we, who have been given the mandate by the House of Assembly by Martin Amewuli, we will remain in office until Governor Fubar conducts election of the local government and new elected officers will come and take over from us. That is the law of Nigeria today. No matter the meeting they do, no matter the program they do, we are not against the meeting, we are not against anything. But the Attorney General of the Federation knows that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter. When they have spoken, it is final.
So for now, because I remember when I introduced as a factional chairman, you said, no, you are the chairman. Where are you conducting administration from?
That's the point I'm making. As I'm talking to you now, we are law-abiding people, and we are waiting for the implementation of the Supreme Court verdict. If our leaders believe in democracy, they should please, just like the Supreme Court will rule, that a man who came forth is now the governor of the state, and the man will take over office, that a man was not properly nominated, that should leave and another man should come and take over as governor. If Supreme Court says so, they will obey. Why now that it's in the third tier, Supreme Court have said that the third tier, this is the law of Nigeria as regards the third tier. This is the constitution. Whatever Supreme Court have said is the law of our land. And we are pleading with our leaders that we are watching this democracy. If they say they will pick and choose which Supreme Court judgment they will obey, then they are sending a wrong signal to democratic tenants. We are saying if Supreme Court has made a pronouncement, that pronouncement must be allowed to stand, irrespective of who is going to hurt. Thank God enough, it's just a matter of a few months. If we are in office as elected local government chairman whose tenure has been extended, and the justices of Supreme Court stated there clearly that the House of Assembly has the right to extend our tenure, not beyond 4 years, 6 months, 6 months. The House of Assembly, led by Master, has extended our tenure by 6 months. And we are asking Mr. President to plead with the governor of Rivers State to allow us go and do our job as pronounced by the Supreme Court and the Rivers House of Assembly to avoid crisis. Because he alone is not democracy. Governor Samuel Fubar swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of Nigeria. He swore an oath to treat all manner of men equal. Him alone cannot change the laws of Nigeria. No matter the sympathy anybody tries to win, if you do that, you have set a precedent that will live with us tomorrow. And it's going to be a very dangerous precedent when it comes to democracy. We are young leaders, we are watching our leaders, and we will make reference to whatever they do today for tomorrow to come. If Supreme Court is the final arbiter, and whatever Supreme Court says is final, we are saying that Mr. President should plead with them to allow the decision of Supreme Court stand. He has the right to conduct his election. Whoever wins will come and take over from us as elected local government chairman whose tenure has been extended.
All right. My question to you is, what if the governor maybe doesn't yield? What would you do next?
We are law-abiding citizens of Nigeria. We will stand by the laws of Nigeria. We know that Mr. President is a Democrat, and Mr. President will not allow this rascality happen before him. And I'm taking this opportunity to call on the CJN. We are aware that very soon he will buy out. I think it is going to be very, very interesting and to be on his shoulders that he stands up to say, under my watch, the laws of Supreme Court should be obeyed, no matter whose guts is hot. Under your watch, our CJN, sir, don't allow anybody disobey the decision of Supreme Court, except you want to make democracy a ridicule, except you want to make the investors coming from outside Nigeria not to respect our laws. If the Supreme Court makes a decision and you say a man can go and negotiate that decision, that means you are telling the investors you are calling to come to Nigeria not to come. That whenever it doesn't favor you, that can be negotiated. Our Supreme Court should be the final arbiter. When they speak, it should be final. And I am pleading with the CJM, the few days he can make this wrong right by saying, no matter what happens, Mr. Governor, bear it. Pronouncement has been made by Supreme Court, and that is the law of the land, and that is where we will stand. All
right. Before I let you go, the governor has said that in a speech he made in the past, he said that he's from a point of defense. I'm referring to all of the political drama happening in Rivers State. The governor said he's not out to attack anyone personally. but instead is standing from a point of defense. I would like you to react to that and the administration of the governor so far, because, I mean, you've also said at some point that I think a property of yours or so, you know, is maybe about to be demolished, if I got that information correctly. Would you say that Governor Fubar, in all fairness, you know, has been, you know, politically fair in his dealings?
Well, first of all, the matter about my investment in my hotel is a subject of litigation. So I wouldn't want to talk about it as I speak now. All parties have filed their documents, so we'll allow the court to decide. Moving forward, no matter how handsome, or no matter how intelligent, or no matter how quiet or humble a man is, when it comes to democracy, one thing stands out: rule of law, upholding the Constitution, making sure that the Constitution of Nigeria is the grand norm of all activity, making sure court orders are obeyed under your watch as a governor, making sure that you govern the people by having an appropriation. If the governor is a humble man and he doesn't govern us via appropriation, it's a corrupt government. It's a corrupt government. If the governor is handsome and the governor disobeys court orders, and the governor wants to tell us because he's handsome and disobeying court order, is tyranny. It doesn't stand. So we are pleading to say that our state is not a banana republic. Our governor should go back and do the needful. A competent court of judicial, court of appeal for that matter, has said Okojombo-led House of Assembly is illegal and is null and void. And we are seeing the same governor of ours sending nomination of commissioners to that same House of Assembly. That is radical to democracy. That is abuse to the Nigerian nation. And the international community is watching. They are watching our CJN keep quiet. They are watching all our justices keep quiet. They are watching Nigerian Bar Association keep quiet. They are watching NJs keep quiet. Our governor is shopping court orders and court judgments from one court to the other to be able to do the rascality he's doing in governance.
Mr. Samuel,
no, that is not the democracy we all work for.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Samuel Nwanosike is actually the chairman of Ikwerre local government area, and he, of course, joined me virtually. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity.